software requirements, its frequency of release, many things we have learned yesterday. Anyway, I forgot to share the PPT. Today I will share it. In the chat box, you can find Koha instance, login details, Koha staff client URL and online catalog. You can copy the URL and open it in your browser and bookmark it. Password is librarian, username is librarian, password is librarian. We use the version, the previous version, not latest one, 22.05, 22.05.10. Okay. Koha has a web interface. You can see the interface. It acts like a website. Then to know the technical details, click on About Koha. See the Koha version, operating system version, Linux, Ubuntu, kernel version you can see here. Then Perl version, MySQL version, MariaDB 10.6, Apache version, Zebra version you can see here. System information you can see here. Anyway, we have to tune our system after the installation to start the work. Anyway, the configuration files reside at Koha Administration. See, we have to start from here. Click on Koha Administration. If you feel any difficulty to login, get and login this Koha staff client, please tell me. We share the URL of Koha, I mean the Koha instance for our training. I put it in the chat box. Okay, we have to tune or we have to configure Koha to work with. Otherwise, it will be difficult. Click on Koha Administration. See, this is the administration page. See here, basic parameters, Patron and circulation, and every module's basic system settings we can see here. Under each category, first is basic parameters, second is patrons and circulation, accounting, catalog related settings are in catalog, then acquisition parameters and additional parameters. See, under basic parameters, we can find libraries. Libraries means we have to start with the libraries. Suppose you are working in a single branch library or multiple branch library, Koha can handle both single and multiple branches. In our university, we have a central library and 20 department libraries. We have a single Koha installation. We create library branches inside libraries. Okay, we are going to create a library branch. We will add library branch details here. You can enter your library branch details by clicking new library. First is a code. Code means the short term. For example, I works with Mahatma Gandhi University Library. We can use the code MGUL. The code should be in capital letter. Minimum 3 or 4 letter is okay. Then enter the full name of your library, full description. of your library name. This library purpose of this library code is that software identify the library using this code. This name is for human, the library staff, human being. We can identify the name. Code for identify the software, each library branch. No space between the code. 3 or 4 letter is okay. So we can enter the address. That's optional, not mandatory. You can see here letters in red color. That's mandatory. Definitely we have to fill it. No other important things are here. First enter code, second enter details. Then we can click on submit button and save the library branch. You can try. Every participant has the chance to create their or your library branch inside this Koha instance. See here, branches are coming. Only 5 branches created. Okay, I am going to refresh the page and see how many branches created. Okay. Anyway, once again, click on new library button, enter a code first to identify the software to recognize the branches, then full name of the library name of the library. Then you can save the branch by clicking on submit button. Okay, then go back to administration. Anyway, we will go learn few administration things for initially to start with Koha. Later we will learn in detail other settings. We learn along with other modules. See, library groups, that's not important. The concept behind library groups is that you have many library branches. For example, Delhi Public Library. They have 39 branches. We can create the groups, organize each branches into different groups. For organizational purpose, library groups are good. For example, DPL West, we can add libraries in New Delhi West into DPL West. Create 4 groups like West, East, South, North. Then item type. Item type means it represents the collection in your library. For example, books, periodicals, maps, music. These are the default item types available with Koha. Suppose we want to create few more item types. Click on new item type. For example, we have a collection of thesis. We can create an item type THES, thesis, the code. Parent item type means suppose we are going to if we are going to create an item type for book bank, we can add parent item type book. Actually, book bank is a sub item inside the major group book. See here, BBK, book bank. Parent item type is book. It's a separate collection of books for the borrow to a group of students. Book bank. See item type 3-letter BBK to identify the Koha software to identify each item type. Third is we have to select an icon for item type. We can see here different kinds of icon types. You can select one. Choose this one, book bank. Okay. Next is hide in opaque. Suppose a person search in opaque. If we click on hide in opaque, it does not appear in the search result. Next is not for loan. Suppose a book's reference. Reference books do not borrow for give for home reading. If you want to prevent it, click on not for loan. Then rental charges not applicable for books. Then hourly rental charge, leave it. Check-in message. Suppose any special message disappear when the library staff return the book. For example, check the books thoroughly to identify any pages are missing. It will display on the librarian's page at library staff. While return the book, it will display on the screen. Then next is these item types belong to applicable to all libraries. Then save changes. First is a code for item type. Second, parent item type for organizing purpose, books description. Then an item type logo. Next is library limitation, all libraries. Then save changes. See here, continuing resources. Continuing resources means periodicals. This term is strange for us. We can change it to periodicals. Continuing resources, this term very popular in US libraries. So we can change to continuing resources to periodicals. Then rental charge to 0. Then save it. It's applicable to all libraries and click save changes. I think this item types does not require any further description, someone all again created an item type book bank. And no need to create duplicate item types. Delete it. Okay. Go back to administration. This one is authorized values. We will learn in detail what is authorized values coming session. See, actually, this is a drop down list we can attach to anywhere. For example, we want to add the list of blood groups. List of blood groups attached with the patron details. We have to collect blood group details while joining users to the library. For that purpose, we can create a blood group list and attach along with the patron details. This is very convenient. The same way, various lost statuses in cataloging. For example, lost, then stolen. These statuses we can add. I will tell in detail while dealing with the cataloging and the patron. I mean membership module. I will show how this authorized values works. Next is patron categories. Patron, the term patron denotes library user group, patron groups, user groups. That is patron categories. See here only library staff categories there. No need to create everybody. I will create one category. If everybody try to create it, you will get too many pattern categories will be here. For example, it denotes not individual user, it's a group, user group. To define user group, we have to create new pattern category. For example, in a college or university, we can divide the community, user community into 3 or 4 like student, research scholars, faculty member, non-teaching staff, and some other, for example, postdoctoral fellow students, project assistants. We can create group for different kinds of users. Anyway, I am going to create a new category for PG student. Category code PG, postgraduate. Then enrollment period in months. For example, the duration of the PG program is 24 months. Then one more field is there, until date. You can leave it. That is for there's a special purpose, like for example, some students join for internship for 3 months. We can create a group for internees, and they have specific date to leave the university after internship. In that case, we can create a group for the internees and create until date as for a specific date we can mention. No need to add in months, fill the 2 columns. Okay, only 1 column is enough. In months, 24 months is for duration of the PG students, enter 24. If you enter two fields, it will not save. Then password expiration. Password expiration means same like internet banking. After specific date, password will expire. The user has to update the password again, create a new password again. Then age required, minimum age required, then maximum age required. Enrollment fees, no enrollment fees. Overdue notice required or not? Yes. Then overdue notice required means Koha can generate various kinds of notices and send it to the user. By default, it will not send the notices. We have to add a email account details into Koha. Otherwise, we have to install a third-party email software like Exim and PostgreSQL. Okay, and then we have to add the Gmail. For example, email accounts like we can add a Gmail. Koha generate notice, and the email server will send the notices to the user inbox. Overdue notice required? Yes. Then lost items in staff interface. When search, whether we have to display lost item books in the search result. Hold fees means reservation fees. Need to charge charge for any reservation of book. For example, British libraries charge earlier 5 rupees for reserve a book. Then category type adult. That's a hard-coded category type. We have to choose one. Library limitation, it applicable to all libraries. This is related to password reset in OPAC and minimum password length. Next is messaging preferences. This is very important. What are the various context, various different kinds of notice Koha will generate and send it. We have to define here in which context emails has to send, notices has to send. For example, item due, it will send a automatic mail. Two columns here, item due, email and digest. The difference between email and digest is that we can reduce the number of messages. We can choose digest only. For example, 5 books going to overdue tomorrow. Koha will generate a single email which contain 5 books details and send it to the user. Otherwise, it will send 5 different emails and send it to the user. Suppose a number of emails coming to the inbox, email service provider will treat it as a spam. It will not come to the inbox. It will go to the spam folder. To avoid this, digest only is very helpful. Next is advance notice. Advance notice means a reminder, it's sent it to the user. 2 days in advance before overdue, it send a reminder. Hold field. Someone reserve a book for someone reserve a book. When the book arrived in the library, Koha will generate a email and send it to the user. Your book, reserve book is available here. You can pick. You can collect it. Then item check-in. When when an item return, it will generate an acknowledgement email and send it to the user. Item checkout and renewal. When renewal and issue of a book, it will also generate and send email. Hold reminder. Hold field means when the book arrived, it will after confirmation send an email. Hold reminder means if the user do not collect the book, system will generate a reminder. Okay, first is a category code, that's description, its duration or enrollment period. Then category type, apply to all library. This item type applicable to all libraries. Then various contexts to send emails. Then one more group we can create. Faculty member. In months, for example, actually this faculty member expiry date or membership expiry, his retirement date is the expiry date. So we can enter 500 months. At the time of enter details of the user individually, we can add his retirement date. On the same day, membership will lock. Staff, category type staff. Then okay, save it. This way we can create pattern category. I'm going to go back to administration. Next is circulation and fine rules. Click on circulation and fine rules. We can define rules for book issue and return of the book. For example, suppose we have to issue a book to PG student. We have to create a rule for that purpose. Then only we can issue a book to him. Click on circulation and fine rules. See here, this is the rule. Here we have to create rule. Click on library host graduate. Then select books. Then current checkouts allowed. And current checkouts allowed means how many books the particular user group can borrow at a time. The maximum number of books they can borrow at a time. See current on-site checkout. Actually, this is related to, see, if you have any doubts regarding these settings, you can open the help information. Click on help. You will go to the help page, which discuss the concerned module documentation, and check for on-site. See here, if you are allowing on-site checkout, you may also want to set a limit on the number of items this type patterns of this category can have on-site. Okay, this is regarding some limit of the item. Okay, we can leave it, but certain settings are applicable to libraries in a specific country, for example, US or European countries. And for example, certain settings are related with libraries, networking libraries with branches. I think current on-site checkout regarding library branches, we can limit the checkout to a specific item type. We can limit it to a specific number of item type. Then loan period. Loan period means how many days they can keep the book for reading. For example, 20 days.
Doubts. This is maybe something same books I have taken one or two. So they get a books on same book. Maybe it's one or two or a topic subject. On-site checkout items.
On-site checkout means, please tell.
It's an, I think, same books, same title taken the one book or two book that's related. For example, communication electronics, get you one book, another book is communication electronics, same book. You take in only one item and get it. This option will available in AutoLib, sir. I mean, already applicable
Oh, I
the same
see.
topic
Okay.
is the student.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Then unit days. Then next is hard due date. Hard due date means we can specify a particular due date. For example, students go for summer internship. They will return after 3 months. And they also would like to borrow books for summer internship. We can give a hard due date to return the book. Otherwise, one more example, hard due date we can apply is that, for example, some courses, for example, MBA, each semester they specify some core textbooks. For example, some core textbooks. They have to return it on at the end of the semester. In that case, we can create a item type group called core textbooks, then create a rule and define hard due date. Then fine amount, for example, 5 rupees. You can see here many minute settings there. Just fill the settings. It works on your context. Other settings we can leave it. Fine charging interval 1. Here slab system will not work. For example, in Seoul, for first 10 days we can charge a particular amount, for example 5. After 10 days they will charge 10 rupees. That system does not work here. I mean, that feature is not here. Next is fine grace period. Grace period means give some grace days to return the book. I mean, to start fine collection. For example, fine grace period is 2. After due date, it will not charge fine for 2 days. Some relaxation give to a particular group of students. Then overdue fine cap, maximum fine they can go. Then suspension. Suspension means some overdue fine cap go up. It will suspend the membership. See here. Suspension charge. If your library finds patrons by suspending their account, you can enter the number of days their fine should be. Fine should be suspended in the suspension in days field. It's a different one. If your library finds patrons by suspending their account, you can enter the number of days. Fine should be suspended in the suspension in days field. Then renewal allowed. How many times they can renew the book after the due date or before the due date? Then renewal period, again we can extend the days to 20 days. We can assign here renewal. Like we can also give a limitation like no renewal before 10 days. Then hold allowed. Hold means reservation. Hold allowed means how many books they can reserve. Hold allowed daily, hold per record, Okay, hold allowed total, that's enough. Then this rental discount, leave it. Okay, first is pattern category, second is item type. Here postgraduate rule, we are going to create a rule for borrow books by postgraduate student. Current checkouts, how many books they can borrow, loan period 20 days, they can keep the book for reading. Here unit days, otherwise hours is also available. Hours is suitable for overnight reading. Certain libraries give borrow books for overnight reading. Before closing the library, they can issue the book, and next day they have to return it. Fine amount 5, charging interval 1, overdue fine cap, then renewal period, reservation, how many books they can reserve, then save it. Then one more thing, on shelf hold allowed. Suppose a book is available in the library, it's convenient with OPAC, they can reserve the book available in the shelf. In normal case, someone borrow the book, they can reserve the book. Then save it. Okay, one more rule I am going to create for faculty member, borrow books, current checkout 5, loan period 20, fine amount rupees 5, interval 1. Every day we will charge rupees 5. Then suspension automatic. Hold allowed 5. Then save it. Okay. This way we can create circulation rules. If you create a specific rule for each library, we can select the branch library and create again the rule one by one. Okay, a common rule for all libraries, we can create standard rules. Anyway, you can try to create rules for your branches.
Sir, you are not. Yes, sir, you are not visible, sir.
I am here, sir. I participants to try something circulation rule. These are the initial settings we have to configure to start with the Koha. Other settings we will see later. We will learn along with other modules. Okay, next we will go to cataloging module. See here the link to cataloging module. See, two ways we can catalog. Either we can enter details manually, otherwise we can harvest or import cataloging details from other libraries catalog, like Library of Congress, Library of OCLC, National Library of Medicine. We can import cataloging details from other libraries. See here, if you plan to add the details manually, click on new record. See here various data entry sheets. You can see here default framework. This is the default framework. We can see other frameworks like booklets, workbooks that is suitable for enter book details. Anyway, I will introduce you what is this default framework. Koha use both MARC 21 and UniMARC. We can choose either UniMARC or MARC 21 when we install Koha in the pre-configuration settings. You can see here see about 800 fields available with the MARC 21. These fields are categorized under various tabs. For example, 0, 1. 1 means tab 1. Inside tab 1, they arranged all fields start from 100. See here 100, where we can see author name, personal name, that is A, personal name, D, dates, date of birth, Q, fuller form of name, 110, corporate name, then 2, tab 2, inside entries, fields start from 200. See here 245, where we can enter book details. Title, remainder of title we can see here. Then statement of responsibility, varying form of title. That means suppose a translated book is there. So for example, a book published in Hindi or regional language. We can enter here title in Roman letter. Okay, edition statement 250, 260 publication distribution, 260A place of publication, 260B name of publisher, 260C date of publication. Same way it divides in 942 Koha item type. We have seen how to create item types. The same list we can see here. In 0 tab 082, see 041 language code. For example, Malayalam ML, English N, Tamil T M L or M, Hindi HN. 082 Dewey Decimal classification number. So 082A classification number, B book number. Anyway, see here it is listed in this framework. All entries are listed here. It's difficult to go through. Actually, we do not need all these entries. we can customize it, only retain necessary fields. Okay, for that purpose, we can choose new record, customize, open customized framework, booklets, workbooks. See, here all necessary fields arranged in a single tab. No need to jump through various tabs in the previous default tab. Okay, this is a customized one. I will tell you how it customized. Okay, for cataloging, we can create a customized data entry sheet. We can arrange all fields in a single sheet. Okay. Anyway, we can try to catalog one entry. Click on cataloging. Click on new record. Click on booklets, workbooks. See, this is a leader field. Just to click there, some information will come automatically. Then ISBN number. ISBN number is important. If you add ISBN number, book jackets will automatically appear in the OPAC and staff client. It will fetch ISBN book cover from Google and Amazon. Okay, I am going to enter an ISBN. See ISBN number. Then classification number. To know the classification number, we can make use OCLC classify. Enter the book number and search. It's a website where we can find book details along with the PDC number. OCLC classify. See the book detail here. See the class number 33009, edition 22. Enter here. Then author name is Louis Jasner. Book number, last 3 letters of the author. Personal name. Louis Jasner. And render it. Title of the book. See subtitle in a different field. Then statement of responsibility. Who is Jasner? Then place of publication. Harper Business. New York. Year of publication 2010. Then number of pages 304 pages. For example, audiobooks available, we can enter here audiobook. Other, sorry, not physical details, accompanying material, audiobook. Then other physical details like dimension, we can mention, that's not necessary. Suppose it's as a part of a series, we can enter here series statement. Then general note, if any specific note we have to given, we can mention there. Then next is formatted content note. We can add here table of contents. Table of contents, inclusion of table of contents benefit is that the title does not indicate the topic of the book. If you add a chapter headings in table of contents, we copy here. When a person make a search, it also search among table of contents. The keyword is there, it match, this book will display in the search result. See here, we can search for this book's table of contents. It's available from the publisher website, HarperCollins website. Go to HarperCollins website. See here, product details. I think no table of content is there. Anyway, this is the, okay, we can copy the summary, paste it here. See, actual book is here. Suppose this PDF copy is there. Suppose you have an ebook with you, you can copy the URL and paste it on 856U. It will help to open the book from the opaque book details. 856U is for electronic location and access. Suppose ebook version is available, you can enter there the URL of the book. This is the table of contents. Just copy it and paste here. Suppose someone search for creating the leadership team or leadership team. See, the leadership team keyword is there. This chance of this book appear on the search result is very high. We can precise the search result. I mean, we can prod the search result. Here, subject added entry. Management, business management. If you want to create another keyword, click on this button. Leadership. This is the second keyword. If you want one more, click on computer, hardware, manufacturing. Then a second author is available. We can add the second author name in 700A. For example, an editor is there. We can add it into 700A. A translator is available. We can add here. This is called biblio. Biblio means bibliographical details. 020 ISBN number, 022 ISSN. We will make use this 022 at the time of serial subscription. See, language code is EN. Then 082 DDC number, classification number. D is the book number. Author name, title, subtitle, and statement of responsibility. Edition statement is available. We can enter here. Imprint 260. Publication, place of publication, name of publisher, year of publication. Then physical description of the book, number of pages, accompanying materials. Then formatted content note. We can enter here the format. I mean table of contents here. It will also enhance the search result. Then summary, we can collect this information from the publisher website. Then item type book. See here, we can place the URL here 856U. See, save it. See, the next window shows the item information. We created biblio information. The next we are going to create item information or copy information. See here, collection code, fiction, non-fiction, reference. We can add more collection code into it by visiting authorized values. For example, you want to add, you are working in a public library, we have to add autobiography, drama, poem, we can add here. You are working in engineering college, we can add collections like in automobile engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering collection we can add. Next is permanent location, main library, current location, main library, then shelving location. Actually, this list coming from authorized values, general stack. We can add more values into it. I will show it today itself. Then date acquired, today's date. Source of acquisition, you can mention here the supplier name. Then cost. No need to enter the symbol. For example, we consider it as Indian price. No need to enter any symbol here. Just enter 450. Here, full call number will come. It will join both class number and book number. Here, accession number we have to give. We can enter here. For example, you have many branches there. We can add branch code and accession number. To avoid duplication, you can add here branch code and duplicate accession number. Then item type, for example, you have a copy, 5 copies you have purchased. We can add copy, first copy, click on. If you want to add one more copy, click on add and duplicate. See, one copy added, the same information carried over to the next current window. The second copy we are going to add. The second copy we add column 1 along with the book number. It means this is second copy, accession number in 101. And second copy we can treat, we can make it as a reference, change the item type to reference. One copy we keep it in the reference section, one copy for issue. Then click on add item. 2 copies we have created. Then we can now check online catalog, how it looks like. 8001. Make a search here. For example, I enter here a term from table of contents, hug. See here, the book details arrived. The jacket of the book arrived automatically. It fetched from either Amazon or Google Books. Language EN. See the details here. ISBN number. Keyword is here. Table of content is here. Then summary. See here item details. First copy book available. Barcode is main 100. Second copy reference not for loan main 101. This way we manually enter details of a book. Let's take a 10 minutes break. After that, we will see how to import details from Library of Congress.
Sir, I have a couple of doubts. Can I?
Pardon?
I have a couple of doubts.
Please ask.
So, you talked about the language code, right? Is it defined anywhere else? Do we need to define that language code anywhere else?
No. Actually, this code from ISO language code. No need to define somewhere else. Actually, for example, suppose we search for Malayalam language. I mean, language-based search in OPAC, it will help. Actually,
Okay,
this
so
code
this is
from
not the type of-
ISO language code. This is the code. Arabic AR, D German, DV Divehi, Devanagari where it is, Hindi, HI Hindi, Hindi India, then Tamil, Kannada. So okay, sir.
Got it. So this is not the language of the book, right? I mean, like if the book is in Hindi language, where do we specify it in the cataloging section?
If it's Hindi, we can enter here HI.
Okay.
I will tell in detail how to make catalog of regional languages after break.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, thanks.
We will return 8:15.